Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope everyone can hear me. I see that people are still getting on. And so since this is the first time, I will allow them to hop on, give them maybe another 5-6 minutes to be able to get themselves situated and get on the Zoom. In the meantime, I will do some basic technology checks. If everyone that's on this call can hear me, just shoot off a message in the Zoom chat. If you cannot hear me and I'm just talking to nobody, I will make sure that that you guys can hear me. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I will be doing a lot of screen sharing during this video. That's how I do these opportunity webinars, mainly showing off the platform, the technology, talking about some of the important different aspects of global exchange, really just giving a candid overview of what we have going on here, how someone can take advantage of it, why someone should take advantage of it. And so just get ready to follow along, get ready to make sure that you have an ear for attention, for detail, because the breadth of global exchange sometimes gets lost because of how grandiose it is, because of how cutting edge it is. But today we're really going to cover again the nuances of the platform, the nuances of why and how it came to be, and I hope to do that in a reasonable time period. Yep, absolutely, guys. I'll definitely have this recorded and it'll be uploaded. And this time I have the recording, so there shouldn't be any delay. I'll try to get this up right away. Again, we'll be doing this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And what I'm trying to do on Friday is get it set up so that we're actually live streaming the Toronto Ignite events. And so that should be really cool. But Monday and Wednesday, definitely we're going to get this going through ignitemyfinances.com. You guys will be able to leverage this tool and also upload all of these to YouTube so that you guys have the reference and can make sense of them. So again, welcome to everyone coming on. I will still give another 3-4 minutes to people to get on, maybe get some. If you guys were to get your prospects on, waiting for some people, waiting for brokers, waiting for prospects. It's going to be exciting. I think I'm going to do a good job trying to get the message across today. And it's 6:15 a.m. where I am, or what time is it in New Delhi? Yeah, 6:30 a.m. And I am sitting in the Invest campus here in Bangalore, or where you can see one part of it. The other 60-70% is over there. And if I drag this on long enough, you'll see, almost 120 people come in for the day shift right now. Some of the night shift people are actually finishing up their day and trying to get their last conversations had. So it's exciting stuff. Again, guys, let's just do some rules. If you have questions, you are more than welcome to put them in the chat. I will try my best to address them. I will try to address them during the presentation if that's fitting to what I'm talking about. If it isn't, I will always address it at the end. If I forget to do so, just remind me and I will make sure I do it. If you guys want to ask a question out loud, you can always wait until the end, and then I will put you as a panelist and you can go ahead and ask your question. And apart from that, just sit back, relax, and let's get ready to have a really engaging time here. Yeah, Steve, it's great to see things buzzing. I mean, some people may have seen some of the videos I've done from the Invest Studios and Invest Labs that's actually being built on the floor downstairs, where we've converted it to a training facility and a production studio, where this is the development house that I'm sitting in. So right now is the calmest this building ever is. As soon as daybreak happens, this turns into mania, and it pretty much is mania all the way until right now, to make it where we're just getting ready for the next day. So yeah, it's pretty incredible. Okay, fabulous, fabulous. Again, welcome everyone. Just doing another standard introduction. Thank you so much for joining us today at this call. I see that some people are still hopping on and asking for some time. I will give them 2 minutes exactly while I load up some links, and then I'll start.
Already posted that.
Beautiful. Oh, there we go. So welcome everybody. My name is Shorupan. I am the CEO and co-founder of Global Exchange. I will be hosting today's GX Ignite webinar. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come and learn about what we're doing here. If you're a new person who has never heard of Global Exchange before, that means someone is really excited about this incredible technology, and they are inviting you to learn a little bit more about what it is that we have going on here. So, I always say that if this is your first time hearing about it, don't worry too much about trying to understand everything. Just try to understand why what this is makes sense right now in the larger scheme of the market of evolving for cryptocurrencies. So the way that I like to do my presentations, just to make sure we cover everything, is I talk about the parent company. I talk about where we come from. I'm going to spend a couple minutes doing that to really establish what it is that we specialize in, to make sure that you guys understand who's behind this and what's important to us and what we've accomplished. Once I go over the parent company, I start talking about the cryptocurrency markets and the evolution that they've had over the last decade to take us to where we are right now, and how that evolution has put cryptocurrency on a trajectory where global exchange is necessary. Thirdly, then I go into the product stack of global exchange, where I briefly dive into the verticals of the GXOS and how that tackles the pending problems that the cryptocurrency market faces. And then finally, I tie it together with how you as an individual or a corporate entity that's learning about this for the first time can actually profit off of this incredible technology, this solution, and being at the right place at the right time. So that's the four verticals that I'm going to try to hit off on, and we will go and make sure that we cover all of that. So already I got Claude asking, where do I find my broker ID? Claude, two things. Number one, you can find it inside of your GX Nitrous back office under the broker tab on the main page. If you cannot find it there, you are always welcome to ask your support chat. I have them sitting right here. They can definitely answer it. And a YouTube video will be posted tonight, which goes over exactly where to find it as well. So 3 different steps on how you can find it if you so choose. I already said to the people that were on the call at the beginning of, like, right when the call started, I'm going to be screen sharing almost the entire time, because that's how I like to show you exactly what's going on. I will be talking quickly, not just because I'm trying to get to the next point, but mainly because that's how I talk, and I will be using a ton of crypto jargon. I try to limit that because I do understand that there are some new people on this call, but when you have spoken like that for years now, it becomes second nature. So I apologize for that. If something doesn't make sense, please ask me to clarify it, and I will do so delightfully. So without further ado, let me just log into my account here so that you guys can see my screen share. So starting off, let's figure out who you are talking to. Well, the global exchange is owned and wholly operated by a company called Invest. Invest was really the mother, the parent of global exchange, and to this day is still the full operating entity for global exchange. Invest was started by myself and my partner, Warren Carson, back in 2017, where we saw a clear-cut need in the market for a product that we wanted to deliver, and that product was called Invest Bank. And this was the first thing that we built and brought into the marketplace. Invest Bank was the world's first cryptocurrency banking platform that had physical branches. And so that in and of itself was such a radical idea, because there were many digital wallets come 2017 because of how popular cryptocurrency markets had become. But what we wanted to do was we wanted to tackle a demographic that was hitherto unfocused. The big cryptocurrency companies of the day, to this day, are all focused on millennials, are all focused on younger customers. Their products are geared towards them. We wanted to take a more traditional approach to tackle a market that hadn't been tackled in Canada and the United States, which is an older demographic. And so we built Invest Bank, which is a state-of-the-art online banking software that supports fiat and crypto assets. But then also you have these physical branches in Toronto, and we're expanding in other cities where you can come and actually get educated about crypto. And the reason I think it's important that you guys understand that what we did with Invest Bank and why we were so ahead of the bell curve there was because, again, it's always back to our main objective, which is how do we make crypto simple for everyone so that the most people have the highest chance of being able to optimize this incredible trend that we want to bring forth, that the market is making. The Invest Bank venture allowed myself and Warren to scale out our software development apparatus. And come 2018, we realized that we had a unique cadence for developing complex software products in the blockchain. And so we wanted to take that cadence and extrapolate it over multiple companies in the crypto space. And so we launched the Invest Group. It's basically a parent holdings company, somewhat of a private equity firm for the crypto age, an incubation platform where we as Invest look at different startups in the crypto space and identify underinvested market opportunities, and then invest in companies in that area and then scale them using our software development prowess. And if you go to invest.com, you can kind of see the entirety of that portfolio and the vision, and you can see all of the different companies that we've invested in and how Invest goes about making its decisions. The last thing I'll talk about regarding Invest before I move on to the cryptocurrency markets is what the building that I'm sitting in right now. The largest competitive advantage that we possess for any of our portfolio companies, as you can see on the screen, is this state-of-the-art network of R&D facilities that we build all over the world. The first one being here in Bangalore, India, where we incubate all the top blockchain engineering talent, all the top business development talent for this sector, and really create a field of innovation so that whenever we build a company on a global perspective, we can incubate it at God's speed here. And so there's approximately 140 engineers, marketers, digital marketers, instructors that work in this building. In about 1 hour, they'll be coming in to start their day. And you can go and see that at bangalore.investcampus.com. We have a smaller version of this in London, where we want to recreate this in London and in Toronto, where you can really have this end-to-end incubation platform. And so, the parent company is invested into building these great products, and we have really positioned ourselves well to take advantage of it. So how does that translate into what we're here to talk about today, which is global exchange? Well, I think everything comes down to understanding the trajectory of the cryptocurrency market. And for that, I like to refer to my favorite website, coinmarketcap.com. Now, for those of you guys that don't know coinmarketcap.com, CoinMarketCap is one of the most popular websites, not just in cryptocurrency, but in the world. There are about 85 million people that visit CoinMarketCap every day, and all of them, almost all of them, go on that website to check one thing: the price of Bitcoin. It is an aggregation website similar to like Yahoo Finance that brings together all the prices of the cryptocurrencies. There are obviously thousands. Most people are there to look at the top 4. Well, what are most people there looking at? They're looking at, hey, is my investment in Bitcoin going well? Is my investment in Ethereum going well? Is my investment in the latest ICO going well? And, I think that in and of itself symbolizes the status of the cryptocurrency markets, because what tends to happen is that as a technology evolves, as an asset class evolves, the masses start running in and trying to, pick up parts of the opportunity. It happened in the internet boom. It happened in, the U.S. equities boom that happened a couple times throughout the 20th century. It happened in cryptocurrencies, and you can see that when they're coming in and trying to get in and pick the next coin and trying to be ahead of the curve. Well, the reason I love CoinMarketCap is actually not because of these prices, is not because of any of that, but it's because CoinMarketCap not only aggregates the prices of the coins, but it also aggregates the exchanges that trade these coins. And that's what I want to focus on, because I think that's where the real opportunity lies for you guys and for anyone entering the crypto market. So let me point you to 2 numbers on this main page that will do great things to give you perspective. And it's not the price of Bitcoin. The first number is this number up here, which is market cap. Market cap today is 219 billion US dollars. Market cap basically means the entire notional US dollar value of all cryptocurrencies today. So that's 219 billion. That is neither large nor small. That's a relative number. In the global financial markets, it's actually quite small. In 2017, the cryptocurrency market cap was up to $900 billion. So it's about 1/4 of what it was at its peak, but it's almost 3 times what it was last year. So again, a relative market cap. And so now, what's more impressive than that market cap is this number: 24-hour trading volume. And the 24-hour trading volume represents how much US dollars worth of cryptocurrency exchanged hands in the last 24 hours. How much of this total market capitalization is actually reflexive, is going back and forth across different platforms. And that is 68 billion US dollars. Now, $68 billion is obviously less, and it has to be less than the total market cap. But that is an astonishing figure compared to 219, because that means almost 1 out of $4 in the entire cryptocurrency market was exchanged in the last 24 hours. That shows me something. That shows me that this is a volatile asset class. It shows me that this is a emerging asset class, and more importantly, it shows me it's an asset class whereby there is little barrier to exchange. So then the question is, how do you benefit off of that? Or better yet, who benefits off of that. And for that, we have to go to the rankings page and click under exchanges. Just put my phone on silent here. Under exchanges to click, instead of looking at the coins, look at exchanges by adjusted volume. And again, I love CoinMarketCap because they aggregate every exchange. See, these are not coins anymore. These are exchange platforms showing you how much volume of trading they did in the last 24 hours. And the number one exchange in the last 24 hours is an exchange called Bithumb, very popular Southeast Asian exchange. And Bithumb in the last 24 hours did 1.8 billion US dollars worth of trading volume. CoinEgg, I'm sure none of you guys have heard of CoinEgg, $1 billion worth of trading volume. Bilaxi, again, I'm sure none of you have heard of Bilaxi, $1 billion worth of trading volume. Guys, this is not reported volume. Reported volume is what the exchanges report to CoinMarketCap. Then CoinMarketCap readjusts that based on their aggregating software to make sure it's accurate. This is adjusted volume. P2P, B2B exchange. I'm sure none of you have heard or ever used it. $979 million trading volume. What are they doing? They are platforms that allow people to facilitate transactions. They're not coins. They could care less about coins. Bithumb's $1.8 billion meant that people sold Bitcoin and bought Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin is down 2% over the last 24 hours, they could care less. If it was down 20% over the last 24 hours, they could care less. Do you know why? Because an exchange makes money whether the market is going up, down, or sideways. They make money off of transaction fees. If Bithumb, and I'm not going to go into the fees of each of these exchanges, but if Bithumb was only charging a 0.01% fee, no, not a 1% fee, 0.01% fee, they would have net profited $1.8 million in the last 24 hours without taking any risk. Without taking any risk, without making a bet on a crypto, putting $1.8 million in your pocket. Why? Because the business of exchanges is very, very sustainable if you build up the customer base. It does not require a risk-oriented business. Your consumers are now in a transactional ecosystem. And just like that, $68 billion changed hands yesterday. And out of that, hundreds of millions of dollars of fees were taken. And these guys, maybe there's about 700 exchanges right now in the world. It's a lot. That number's only getting bigger. So these guys are profiting off of all of that. Imagine when the cryptocurrency market doubles, triples, people get excited because they own some Bitcoin. These guys are printing money. It's the closest thing to printing money that I've ever seen. A picture perfect business model, 24/7 market, on virtually no regulations that can be enforced on most of these exchanges that are outside the United States. A customer base who's willing to transact viciously. And more importantly, a network effect that allows the more customers you get, the better exchange rates you'll be able to provide, the more liquidity you'll be able to provide. It's incredible. So Global Exchange was built to create a solution for this. How could we do two things at the same time? And that's what Global Exchange spawned, which is number one, how can we simplify this whole thing for the end users? Because we saw, due to this complexity in the exchange marketplace, that users would want something simple. There's 100, 300 exchanges that people have to learn about. There's so many different lending products. There's so many different decentralized, centralized exchanges. There's so many different DeFi protocols. It's going to get insanely complicated. It's already insanely complicated for the average person. That we wanted to tackle. Number two, security. How can we build a platform where you don't have to give up custody of all of your crypto assets to these guys? These guys are not good or bad, they're indifferent. But what they are subjugated to is two things that seem to overwhelmingly happen over and over again with these exchanges. Number one, they tend to shut down. Why do they shut down? Variety of different reasons. And yes, a percentage of those exchanges shut down because they're just stealing the money and leaving. And the sad reality of that is there's nothing the customer can do about it because you've given them your private keys. In order to use these exchanges, You have to leave your crypto on their wallets. Now, is that a bad thing in all cases? No, that allows you to get fast trades. That allows you to get in-market liquidity from some of the biggest liquidity markets in the world. But what it does, what the issue that we had with it is that they force you to be subjugated and siloed to them. See, it's not a decentralized crypto storage anymore. It became hundreds of different centralized wallet providers. And that's going to cause negligence issues and hacking issues. And there's obviously a tremendous amount of hacking that's happened in crypto exchanges. And they don't like that when that happens because they're losing money as well. But they can't prevent it, because if you put everyone's money into one platform, then that platform becomes very lucrative for hackers. And so there's about $8 billion worth of crypto that's been stolen in hacking attacks from exchanges since the inception of Bitcoin. That number's only increasing. So we wanted to figure out how to make it simpler. We wanted to figure out how to make it more secure. And finally, we wanted to figure out how we could get everyone involved on this payday. Because we understood one thing, that the greatest way to expand the crypto markets is take this secret business model. And I laugh when I say secret because it's so obviously not a secret. But no one wants to seem to uncover this element. Everyone wants to talk about picking the next hot coin. That I call it a secret because it's like, why would you ever want to, play the stock market when you can be the stock market? Why would you ever want to attend like the horse riding race when you can become the house? And that is what we wanted to do. How can we get everyone on that side of the equation? So that's the inception of Global Exchange. So this is the Global Exchange family of apps. There is 7. And the logic here was we didn't want to build an exchange. We still don't technically, we're not an exchange, we're an exchange OS. What that means is we wanted to build an operating system whereby any app can be built on top of our platform, and users can pick and choose between a marketplace of different applications to be able to leverage and participate in the cryptocurrency markets. Right now, we have, again, 7 different apps. They all target different verticals. These are apps that our development team built, but in 2020, we'll be releasing the SDK so that any developer can build apps and you can access them in the Global Exchange marketplace. The most important apps are right here in the middle. And what they have to do is with the trading and access to the different cryptocurrency markets and the different exchanges. Like I said, we wanted to simplify user experience. And so GX Trade really allowed us to do that. And that's what we ventured off to try to do first. Okay, it's very simply put. You have some of the biggest cryptocurrency exchanges right here. They have some of the most liquid markets. No one's going to change that. No one wants to have slow trades. No one wants to have illiquid markets. So what did we do? We created a smart order algorithm called a GX Trade. And that's what we're testing and releasing right now. You guys might have seen that inside of your GX Nitrous back office. That became the core technology around Global Exchange. Very simply put, again, it's not complicated at all. Very simply put, it is a way to connect your wallet, a wallet that you control, to the largest exchanges in the world using the routing system. And now you can select which one of the exchanges you want to execute your trade on, as opposed to sending money to that exchange and only being able to trade on that exchange. It became like an Expedia for the cryptocurrency markets, where you can pick and choose where you want to stay tonight, which exchange you want to use. You're not subjugated to any of them. And you are just leveraging in and out of these liquidity pools. And that was our first trading application exchange app. And then around that smart order routing system, we wanted to create verticals whereby users can lend and borrow cryptocurrency in a decentralized way. That's GX Markets. You can go check that out. Create trading bots to have self-executing algorithms over all of these different cryptocurrency exchanges that we allow you to connect through GX Trade. That's GX Algo. An end-to-end trading academy for people getting into the cryptocurrency markets. That's GX Academy. I'll open all these right here to show you what they look like. This is GX Markets, one of the world's first lending protocols for crypto. Here you have GX Academy, an end-to-end trading academy, online Udemy style. You have GXLive, which is called like a trading social network, but really what this is, it's a alerts platform whereby anyone can contribute to providing analysis on the cryptocurrency markets. You have GX Decentral, which is essentially a decentralized routing system. And then you have the initial fund offering, which is a decentralized fund management protocol. Okay, well, those are the 7 verticals we wanted to focus on. And we've developed and deployed versions of all of these inside of GX Nitrous. And they're all in different stages of release. Some of them are fully functional, some of them are in testing, some of them are coming up very shortly. But again, each of them have a deep library of documentation that you guys can go through if you're interested. They're all there. There's IFO, there is GXLive, there's GX Academy, markets, etc. But again, I'm not going to spend too much time on this call talking about the nuances of each of these. Number one, because it's very technical. And number two, because if you wanted to learn about any specific one of those products, you can definitely do so by learning about all of them online and reaching out to our team and making sure that you have access to all of that. What I want you guys to get from this is the real value of global exchange is not in any particular element of its product stack, but because every single app in its product stack is to do with aggregation, whether it's smart order routing, whether it's the lending protocol markets, GX markets, whether it's the IFO, it's to do with the fact that we want to create a unified OS whereby anybody can deploy and anybody can use different crypto applications. And that is the vision that we set out to do 16 months ago for Global Exchange and that our team has worked so hard to deliver. Well, now let's go and show you what the product looks like, what all this actually works into. Everything is in this OS GX Nitrous. I've already logged in, but if you guys want, I will log in again just to show you where it is. gxnitrous.com/nothing. Actually, you could just log in. And here, Nitrous is the name of our OS. It's like our Windows, our Macintosh. And essentially, we're right now Nitrous version 1. And inside of GX Nitrous, you have access to all the trading applications. So within that, you will be able to log in like this. I'm just logging in with my credentials. And of course, you get access to the entire body of work of Global Exchange in one place, which is the most exciting part. You have the vault, which acts as your entry, exit, onboard, offboard ramp into the cryptocurrency markets. You obviously have the ability to buy, sell, stake, trade cryptocurrencies here. And then if you go to your left-hand side, you get access to the rest of the GX apps. You get to access, I'm not going to talk about broker now, I'm going to save that till the end. You get algo, you get trade, you get GX bets, you get GX DeFi, you get token swap, you get initial fund offering, and you get access to everything that we discussed in one platform. Now, I can spend hours talking about each one of these apps and how going through all of them. But again, that is a product-oriented session, and we'd love to do that, and we will do that, on another day. But the important thing to understand here is the simplicity of use, the consolidation of all of the apps, and the unification of the interface is simple for the customer. And now he can do everything crypto in one place. So where does that leave you guys? Or where does that leave the newest person who wants to take advantage of profiting from this incredible technology? And that brings us to the core innovation when it comes to our distribution strategy for Global Exchange, which is GX Broker. And this is something that I really do want to take some time actually to explain, because we learned about the technology, we learned about the market, we learned about who's making money in the market, we learned about how to make money risk-free, we learned about the different verticals of cryptocurrency markets and people being able to leverage each one of them. But now we want to pose the other side of the question. Once we were ready for pre-testing in some of these apps, I opened it up to the market, went into pre-launch. This was about April, May of this year, actually. And I asked myself, I asked the market, and I asked my research team to actually conduct some surveys. And the surveys that I conducted were simple. It was online surveys where we targeted really unsophisticated investors, people that are, retail investors that haven't heard about crypto much, maybe heard about it a little bit, and ask them, what do you think is the number 1, 2, and 3 reason why crypto isn't adopted yet? And if you leave with anything, just leave with this understanding today about what I'm going to say. What are the reasons that cryptocurrency isn't a mainstream asset? That's what we asked. We're obviously crypto fanatics at Invest, at Global Exchange. We think everything should be crypto, but obviously the rest of the world is still catching up to that. We want to know what's taking so long. And so we were really shocked by the answers that we got because they were so simple, and we should have known that that's what it would have been. The number one reason that people feel that crypto is not adopted, according to our research, is that it's complicated. Now, that might seem funny to people that are in crypto like us, but that's the truth. Unless you are in the market, if someone actually just tried to explain to you Bitcoin, it's very complicated. It goes over people's heads. It's too hard to grasp. It's abstract. It's a computer science project. It's a financial project. There's so many different elements to it. So, okay, complicated, that's fine. I get that things being complicated do make people not want to adopt them. That's fine. What was number 2? It's hard to access. Okay, well, that's interesting because I was grown up in Toronto. So in Toronto, was it easy to get Bitcoin when it first came out? I mean, it was not the most difficult thing, but it's not like, buying like candy at a store, but it wasn't the most difficult thing. But if you think about the global perspective for acquiring cryptocurrencies, it's damn near impossible. Most countries have no good infrastructure. Most countries don't have a Coinbase. They don't have some version of a Coinbase. They have a very difficult, onerous process. Even in North America, it's still onerous. So yeah, it's hard to access. People think that they can get at their bank. That's not the case. It's not easy to access for most people, fair. When something's not easy to access, typically it doesn't become adopted. And the last one, which is really interesting, is that it was ephemeral. So they didn't use that word. They said, we can't touch it. It's not like gold. It's not like cash. It's not like my credit card. I can't touch it. It seems to be in the internet, in cyberspace. Well, unfortunately, that's actually true. It is ephemeral. It literally doesn't exist in matter. It only exists in the blockchain on the protocol itself. So that's kind of annoying because you can't really let people touch it. Okay, so we internalized these 3 issues and said, okay, can we solve these? Because they're pretty big issues. And I don't think they're pertaining to any company. They're more pertaining to the architecture of cryptocurrency themselves. And so, you know what, we became kind of sad because we're like, wow, we've built this great product and we believe in crypto so much. We think it can do so much for so many people. But there are these 3 issues that seem to be huge obstacles in adoption. And then, we did some research on other financial products that are not crypto. And we came to a staggering realization and mind-blowing, which is if you take every other financial product except real estate, which is not really a financial product, it's more of a commodity product that has like physical scarcity attached to it. But if you take things that is anything financial product constructed by a bank, they have all of those characteristics that people said are why the reasons crypto won't get adopted. Insurance, mutual funds, mortgages, derivatives, equities, the RRSPs, like registered investments. You go down the list of financial products that almost everyone knows and everyone uses, and they are all too complicated for the average person to understand. I assure you that every product I just named, people that are buying them don't understand how they actually work. Are they easy to access? Is it easy to get a registered investment? No, unless you know someone who's selling a registered investment or a bank that's willing to sell it to you, no, it is not. And number 3, you literally cannot touch any of those things. Everything that I just said is abstracted financial products created by a bank. So why were those products able to get mainstream and cryptocurrency is not? And then we stumbled upon it. All of those products over the last 100 years had a network, a very qualified network, millions of people, of brokers, whether it's insurance or mortgages or registered investments, mutual funds, whatever it is, they had a quantified network of brokers. And the broker played the most important role in adoption for those products. Why do I say that? Financial products are not pull products. They're not food. You don't wake up in the morning saying, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go buy some insurance. That's not how it works. Food is it's a pull product. Gas, oil is a pull product. Financial products are a push product. They require that broker to sit with the client and explain and create the need and explain the asset, explain and make sense of it, do need analysis, and decomplexify what the bank wrote as the original financial product. In other words, none of those products are real. They're not tangible, but the broker is real. And the broker is the one that made life insurance a tangible product for the user and made it so that almost 80% of North Americans have it today. Cryptocurrency has no such thing. Cryptocurrency has never had such a thing because everyone in cryptocurrency is only concerned about promoting their own coin, their own platform. There's no aggregate brokerage software. There's no aggregate brokerage network. And that is why cryptocurrencies have not gotten adopted. And that's why cryptocurrencies won't get adopted if that's not to change. So for us, this was a eureka moment. We're like, holy smokes, this is what we need to do. We need to create a product that allows everybody to be the onboarding vehicle into crypto. And that it was the birth of GX Broker. How can we give everyone that infrastructure so that you create that brokerage network so that they can go out now and onboard and do the job of decomplexification and simplification? And that is GX Broker. So now we took all types of transactions that you find in the GXOS, starting with OTC, token, digital, anything that we push out. And we say, all these fees, every single one of those dollars of fees will be returned to the broker. Will be returned to the broker. All the fees that Bitstamp made yesterday in Global Exchange's operating system goes back to the broker. Why? Because the broker is the infrastructure that built the trust into the network, and not just into network, into the asset class. And so we launched, we beta tested GX Broker at the beginning of May. And boy, oh boy, was it really early days back then. We just had like a link that kind of tracked it. And I'm sorry, I think someone is raising their hand. Let me check how I can engage with that. Okay, perfect. So we released it and that product went viral. Now, what I mean by that is it unlocked something. For the first time, anybody, doesn't matter what company you're already a part of, doesn't matter what you're promoting, doesn't matter what you believe in, doesn't matter what coin you like, doesn't matter where you're invested, now has a way to get paid off of pure adoption of crypto. And that is this final product you see on this left-hand side in the operating system, which is GX Broker, which basically says you as a broker can start this business and get paid off of every transaction fee for every person you ever bring in. You become the exchange. You're more than an exchange. You are now the market maker for every type of app that we deploy. And we have created a robust compensation structure that rewards you on direct and every single indirect transaction for every single type of transaction in the crypto space. Doesn't matter what coin they buy, doesn't matter what type of trade they want to do, doesn't matter when they do it, doesn't matter how much they do. That is your customer for life. That is your broker for life. And now you are building a digital brokerage in an age where trillions of dollars are transitioning from fiat currency into crypto. It is the most lucrative opportunity, not today, not at a market that's only 219 billion, but when the market is 2 trillion, which is still 1/5 of the valuation of gold. Think about the value of your brokerage you're building today. And because of that brokerage, we created what then became the GX token. And the GX token, so you can see right here, the GX token is the token that regulates how you become a broker. Because all we said was all transaction fees goes back to our brokers. Everything goes into the GXOS, completely predicated, given lifetime back to the broker, if the broker chain. In order to become a broker, there's no monthly cost, there's nothing. All you have to have is 1,000 GXT staked. You put 1,000 GXT in our smart contract, prove that you're invested into the success of the protocol itself, and you unlock this business. That GXT today is being used by hundreds, thousands of people worldwide as the mechanism by which you can become a broker and unlock great business opportunity moving forward. If you ever want to leave global exchange in terms of, well, it's free, so you can't really, you don't need to leave, but if you ever want to stop being a broker, you just sell your GXT. If you want to understand the value of GXT, you can understand how much of a scarcity there is and on what asset there is a scarcity. There's 350 million GX tokens in circulation. Every broker needs to stake 1,000 coins, which means even if the company was willing to dispose of every coin in circulation, 350 million divided by 1,000 is 350,000, which means at full capacity, there will only be 350,000 brokers worldwide. In Canada, there are more insurance brokers than that just in a small market like Canada. You are building an asset when you are building your GX brokerage that can then be sold, that can then be transferred, that can then have value in the token and the business itself. And it is getting ever more better because the company and the network are just putting more and more products for your customers to transact in. And so that is the entirety of global exchange, high level. Like I said, any of the things that I talked about, I could have probably spent another 5 hours talking about each of these nuances, because again, they have such level of nuance towards them. But if you really understood the picture, if you understood how the crypto market evolved, if you understood that you have to be an exchange to make money, if you then understood that there are several issues with exchanges that we tackle, and then if you understood how you can leverage our technology to make money without any risk, and how that is an ever increasing asset, it never decreases. As soon as you have a customer, you have a customer for life. It is a small brick by brick business that can get out of control very quickly. So at this point, I'll open it up to questions. And there's obviously many other things that we can discuss, but I'll answer some basic questions. If your questions are regarding one of the things that we talked about, if your questions are something that's regarding a detailed explanation and something else, you can always look at the YouTube videos and we'll point you toward the right literature. So with that being said, feel free to raise your hand in the Zoom or feel free to type the question up. And I'll hang out here for a couple of minutes and make sure everything is taken care of. Let's see if there's any questions right now. How does a customer buy BTC from Instant as a broker? You have to send them gxcheckout.com/your affiliate link, and then they can sign up for GX Nitrous and buy it within their back office, just like you do. So I see someone is trying to raise their hand. How do I do that? Okay, allowed to talk. All right, Kina, can you hear me speak? Yeah, you're still muted, so let me unmute you.
Hi.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, great. Just quickly, can you just touch a bit on the Ceph coin, the staking of the GXT?
Sure. Definitely, I'll touch on that. So, myself, or did I mute Kina there? Perfect. So, Ceph coin is, as you can see, if you saw when I was in my back office, there's a little Ceph coin miner module, top right-hand corner of the app. And essentially what Ceph coin is, it stands for Save Exchange Fee Coin, SEF. And this is a coin that we released recently into the market. And the only way that anyone can acquire this coin is by staking GXT. Every time you stake GXT, you're actually mining the coin according to our consensus algorithm. So I can release that algorithm and I'll show you what percentage each person gets for staking. But really the question is, what will it be used for? Ceph coin, it will be used by exchanges that will allow their users to get deductions and fees. And so if you've ever used Binance, which is the largest exchange in the world, Binance has BNB coin. BNB coin is now, I think, like coin number valuation in terms of like number 13 in the whole world. And all BNB coin does is it enables you to get discounts on the trading fees which Binance charges. So if Binance is charging a basis point on every trade for fees, if you're holding a reserve of BNB coins, you're only going to get charged half a basis point. But the issue with Binance coin is that it's only for Binance. we wanted to create a protocol that any exchange could plug into that reduces fees for its users. So it becomes a standard exchange exchange reduction fee coin. And so that is Ceph coin. Obviously, the first exchange that will adopt it, our first platform that will adopt it is us. We'll be adopting it in January 1st, which means that people that have Ceph coin will be able to get savings on their fees when they transact. Okay, that's the end use of it. But then right after that, other exchanges will also incorporate the protocol. So you'll have multiple exchanges whose customers will get discounted exchange fees for having Ceph coin. So it's not even a coin that's proprietary to global exchange. It's meant for all exchanges. But now let's look at what this means for you guys as brokers. Well, the only people that can mine Ceph coins are brokers for staking their GXT, or not just brokers, anyone who's staking GXT, which means you guys are earning Ceph coin just for staking GXT, which you would have to do anyway to be a broker. And now you can take those Ceph coins and sell them to the end user. And the end user are the people that want to get savings on exchange fees. So in other words, by being a broker, apart from having the tremendous business opportunity, you're also the bridge to be able to get your customers the exchange discount coin, which hopefully they'll be able to use on multiple platforms. For sure, they'll be able to use on ours. And that's another revenue opportunity that I don't even talk about for the brokers, passive revenue opportunity that I don't even talk about because we are still rolling out the use case infrastructure for it. But that's Ceph coin. That's a great question, by the way. And I mean, I'm trying to answer it as simply as possible because it could get very complicated because it's so fascinating. The idea that there's an aggregated smart contract platform that helps anyone save fees on exchanges and that allows any exchange to benefit by profiting from that. It's a very interesting concept. And we're excited to roll it out. So is there any other questions that people may have? Let's see what the people are saying. Thank you so much, guys. Top quality from what I've seen. I appreciate the compliment. Could you explain how we control our keys? Oh, what a great question. Okay, so there are there are actually three types of wallets. Two of them are very commonly used. One of them are becoming used more and more commonly. And that third one is what we focus on to allow decentralized custody. Okay, so let me just quickly share my screen again. Okay, just so you guys get full understanding of this. Yeah, desktop 3. You should be able to see my screen. Here, I'm in my vault. Inside of my vault, I have a list of coins that GXT has native support for. This is a centralized wallet, meaning when you put your coins in here, you're putting them in our custody. Okay, well, that means you're gonna have to trust us, which we don't really want because we believe in trustless architectures, but we have this anyway because it's a simple way for people to interact with crypto. So we're gonna offer that as well. Now let's look at how you are gonna use this to interact with exchanges. Well, if you go over here and click GX Trade, click continue, let it redirect. What you can see here is the beta platform for GX Trade. And what happens is that you can select between exchanges, Bitfinex and Kraken we're currently plugged into, and you can actually trade directly from your Vault wallet on any of these exchanges. We're going to be adding about 6 more really soon. So there's already one level of decentralization right there because now you are no longer leaving your money on Bitfinex or Kraken. You're controlling your money in your own vault and allocating small portions to these different order books. So that is the first rollout of how we want to empower people to keep access of their crypto because you're not leaving it on a specific exchange, not subjugated to their deposit and withdrawal fees. Now, let's look at how we're going to take that one step further with our final product rollout. The third type of wallet, the first type of wallet is obviously a hot wallet like this. That's very popular, Coinbase, us, blockchain.com. Second type of wallet is cold storage. Cold storage is like hardware wallets that are not connected to the internet, but they're connected to your computer sometimes, and you usually keep large amounts of crypto on there. The third type of wallet is something called a contract wallet, which is very new. And a contract wallet is basically using a set of smart contract, multi-sig smart contracts to keep your money safe. And they're impossibly secure. It's so secure, you would have to reverse the entire Ethereum blockchain to penetrate it. But you still have the benefits of being able to access it on the go like a hot wallet. And so, and it's a reduced super reduction in transaction fees. So what we are working on is to offer this wallet in terms of being able to connect with exchanges, allow you to access your exchange wallet, but also like exchange wallet, meaning the exchange you want to trade on, but then having a native contract wallet. Basically, that is the equivalent of like a MetaMask built into this interface so that you are not even trusting us with the keys. Where you have a contract, the keys are a multi-signature hash that you would sign every time you interact with that wallet. That is the architecture, the multifaceted solution architecture that we plan on deploying. Contract wallet rollout, our native Vault wallet rollout, connecting with the exchange wallets rollout. Hope that answers that. Thank you. What kind of training and support is available for brokers? So what kind of training and support? Well, support in terms of fundamental technical support and product support is done through our 24/7 WhatsApp channels for all brokers. So if you are a broker, you get a chat where you can talk to our support team that makes sure everything is happening for you, your customers, there's no technical issues. In terms of in-field support, I hope that you guys have been following the recent developments in the Facebook group and on the YouTube channel, whereby we have just released the initial stage of the initial aspects of this in-field training architecture led by Javon and David, who have really are now going to be the driving force of helping our brokers in the field, putting together the trading modules and making sure that everything that we're building from this product perspective is translated into simple, quantifiable assistance steps for our brokers. And so soon what actually is going to be added, if you want to know technically speaking, is there'll be a page under your broker tab that says training that will have all training videos. Along with that, the Facebook group is going to be the place for all support when it comes to getting people excited and getting people involved, incentivizing them to be brokers, going from free customers to brokers. And so leveraging the momentum in the Facebook group and the community in the Facebook group is the ultimate form of that type of momentum and that type of training. But then also having Javon and David there for being, private calls, training calls are there. And especially stuff like this, GX Ignite, the fact that we just launched this marketing campaign that has the standardized webinar, opportunity webinar is, more elementation of that. Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Asking about topping up with the US dollar account. That's something that we rolled out last 2 weeks ago, and we are working on making simpler and more streamlined. Right now, you can go to your back office and you can add US dollars to your account. And then once you have added US dollars to your account, you can use that to trade in between all the cryptos. So right now the question then is how easily and how many ways can you add US dollars to your account? Right now we accept wire transfer or we accept e-transfer as functioning methods. What we are in the process of doing is adding 6 more payment modules to the funding mechanism of that. We're adding credit card. We already have credit card to crypto, direct credit card to crypto, but this is now credit card to US dollar balance. We're adding local payment applications like PayPal and MPay and WeChat and Paytm. We're adding a P2P deposit withdrawal engine, and we're adding ACH. So over the next couple of months, we plan on knocking all of those out of the park. And then, of course, at that point, we are globally the most sophisticated funding platform in the world because no one is able to have done that. And then once you have your US dollars in your account, you're really unstoppable because now you can get that into Bitcoin or Tether, whatever other things that we offer. And once you have your crypto, you can play around in the entire cryptocosm. So that is how we plan on doing that.
Hi, Shorupan.
Yeah.
Just quickly, there's a reason I asked that as well. For us here, we in Trinidad, Caribbean.
Yeah.
And I believe most other places as well too, the banks are fighting crypto, right?
Yeah.
The banks don't like crypto.
Yeah.
So there is some sort of code or something like that. Like with most companies, the banks tend to block
Transaction.
transactions
Yep. Yep. Yep.
associated
Yep.
with a crypto company. So that's
Yep.
why I asked about the US. In terms of topping up your account with the US, that option, would that would that eliminate what the bank see in terms of are we just would the bank see that we are just topping up, a US dollar?
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a fabulous question. I'm really happy that you asked that. So, technically speaking, banks are usually split on this topic. Even in less friendly crypto jurisdictions, they're split. There's some banks that'll roll with it. There's some banks that won't. But I understand what you're saying. They do tend to block a lot of transactions. So if they're topping up their balance with us, does that kind of circumvent that? I would say yes, but not directly a circumventing. What I mean by that is if you're able to create a decentralized funding mechanism, which is what we are rolling out, or if you're able to use local payment apps such as like not a PayPal, but something a little bit more local, then you've basically created a bridge where the banks are not even cognizant of what's going on in terms of the transactional flow, and you're just getting into US dollars. It's basically like you're paying to get into a PayPal. Then yes, that is what we are aiming to do, where you're trying to eliminate the crypto transaction off of the bank's requirement and make it just a funding requirement. Now, how to do that? There's a couple different strategies we're deploying, and for the Caribbean, we are working with some interesting payment platforms to be able to do that. But yes, that is the case. It will do, if it works properly, which right now we're seeing signs that it will do exactly what you just said. It will reduce the requirement for banks to approve that. Yes, you can borrow against your BTC just like Nexo. Actually, it's better than Nexo, and it's also worse than Nexo in some sense. Nexo is a platform that lets you collateralize your crypto and gives you loans against it. So the issue with Nexo is that they're great because they just take your crypto and they give you loans. The issue with Nexo is that they take your crypto and give you loans. And what I mean by that is just like how a centralized exchange will always have your money to facilitate your trade, similarly, Nexo will always have the loans to give you. Well, that just means that it's quite centralized. And what we plan on doing uh, is what we have in terms of the GX markets is a decentralized version of that, whereby you can do this peer-to-peer lending. You can actually access it today at moneymarkets.io. You can also access it within GX Nitrous, where you can actually do a peer-to-peer lending transaction regulated by how much cryptocurrency you're willing to stake as collateral. I did this video on that. And that then allows you to have complete decentralized architecture and not require a company like Nexo or Global Exchange to mitigate against or become counterparty risk. So the answer to that, Claude, is yes. You do. We have the exact same thing as Nexo. It's better because it's decentralized, but it also is slower, and because it's decentralized, as it requires the market to pick up with it. So we will be developing that product. We will be making it more user friendly, but we have developed the world's first decentralized money market protocol. It's at moneymarkets.io, which is our domain. And it's also built into GX Nitrous. And as we release more training videos on how to use that, I'm sure that'll become a very popular product. So I think, yeah, again, those were great questions, guys. I really enjoy always just getting feedback as to what people are thinking. I hope this webinar did shed some light into how, Global Exchange is a transformative product and how you can really position yourself at the cutting edge of crypto without taking almost any risk. I mean, I'm so excited about what's going on right now in the field. I'm so excited about the team coming together. If you see Trayvon's message in the group, listen, if you're a broker who's trying to take their business to the next level, get in contact with them. I just made the announcements promoting them, giving them ultimate authority to help you guys take your business to the next level. And they are the people that I think are absolutely ideally suited for that. So with their help and with the tremendous work that you guys are doing, I know that this is a nuclear type of revolution that's coming to crypto, coming to financial services in general. and I couldn't be more excited about what's to come. So Javon, unless you have anything else to say, I will wrap this up. I'll finish the recording and I will upload this call to make sure that everyone gets access to it. Fabulous. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the call. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate your time. Again, join the Facebook group. Doesn't matter if you're not signing up, you don't want to sign up, you're a free customer, you're a broker dealer, get in the Facebook group. That is where you will understand what's going on with global exchange, the incredible leaders that we have, this technology, and you are one of 800 people that understand everything that I just laid out. It is an incredible opportunity, and it is so ground floor, it's scary. Thank you guys so much for your time.